All right, let's dive into something that could completely change how we think about running a business. We're not talking about just another app or a new piece of software. We're talking about a whole new operating system for knowledge work itself.
To get started, let's look at a number, a huge number. $3 trillion. That's roughly the size of the global market for knowledge work. It's the engine of our modern economy, right? It's all powered by human minds, making strategic decisions and using their expertise. But what if a massive chunk of that is going to waste?
I mean, really think about that. What if more than half of that $3 trillion is being burned on projects that were, frankly, doomed from the very beginning? Not because of some random act of God, but because of mistakes that were totally predictable and totally preventable. That's the huge problem we're going to unpack today. And this brings us to what you could call the $3 trillion bottleneck. You see, the biggest, most expensive failures in business, they usually aren't technical. It's not that the code failed, it's that inconsistent human judgment and big gaps in strategy went unnoticed until it was way, way too late. It makes sense when you think about it, right? Most projects don't crash and burn because of a software bug or a broken part. They fail because the core business strategy, the very foundation, was shaky from the start. Now, experienced investors and operators, they can often see these flaws a mile away. But that kind of gut instinct expertise, it just doesn't scale. What's so wild is that these failures aren't random bolts of lightning. They follow these incredibly predictable patterns. Like, has the team actually figured out who their ideal customer is? Is their pricing just a guess, or is it based on real evidence? Do they have any proof, any case studies that their thing actually works? Can they even deliver what they promise? These are the kinds of questions that, when ignored, just sink businesses. So, how in the world do you fix a problem that's rooted in something as fuzzy as human intuition? Well, the answer is pretty mind-blowing. You codify it. You find a way to systematically download the wisdom of those expert operators and turn it into something a computer can actually check. This quote just nails it. It really gets to the core of this whole idea. You're taking those subjective, experience-based questions, the ones that really determine if you win or lose, and you're translating them into a language a machine can understand. And not just understand, but enforce. That's the real breakthrough. The technology that makes all of this possible is a system called token maps. Just think of them as the engine for turning that abstract, hard-won wisdom into a concrete, checkable blueprint for what good looks like. So let's break down what a single token actually is. It's basically a structured definition for any business requirement. It's got a simple description, a weight for how important it is, specific keywords the system scans for as proof, and this is key, a little flag that can mark it as a hard blocker. That means it can literally stop a bad project in its tracks. It even tells you how to fix the problem. So here's the absolute game changer. Big, fuzzy concepts like product market fit or go-to-market readiness are no longer just vague goals on a whiteboard. They become a series of real, concrete, executable checks that a project simply has to pass. It completely removes the guesswork and replaces it with a clear, enforceable standard. And this all leads to a really powerful metaphor. Think of this whole system as an immune system for your business. Its entire job is to identify and neutralize bad ideas or projects that aren't ready, before they can start sucking up time and money and spreading through the whole organization. The way this is built is actually super smart. It's a two-part system designed for trust. On one side, you have the engine. That's the core machinery that runs all the checks. And on the other side, you have the library, a whole collection of plug-and-play knowledge packs for different industries like SaaS or real estate or even defense. So the engine is universal, but the wisdom is totally specialized. Okay, so what does this look like in the real world? It's pretty simple. The engine scans a project document, like a business plan. It grabs the right rulebook, the pack, from the library for that specific industry. Then it just runs quietly in the background, almost like a spell checker for strategy, and acts as this automated gatekeeper, stopping anything that doesn't meet the standard. And this is where we have to zoom out, because this is so much bigger than just a single tool. We're not just talking about validating projects anymore, we're talking about building an entirely new foundation for how a company itself can operate autonomously. Yeah, what we're really looking at here is the foundational governance layer for a totally new kind of organization. A company where tons of routine decisions can be automated with absolute confidence, because you have a system in place that guarantees those decisions are smart, strategic, and safe. This kind of autonomous business is built on three distinct layers. Down at the bottom, you have what are called micro apps. These are specialized AIs that are really good at doing one specific task. In the middle, you have the governor. That's our validation framework, acting as the essential guardrails. And then at the very top, you've got an orchestration engine that acts like a conductor, pulling together the right AIs for the job. Now, why does this matter so much? Because this structure, this architecture, is what allows hundreds of these little AI solutions to all work together safely and effectively. The governor is the secret sauce. It's what provides the trust needed for scalable automation. It's the difference between having a bunch of cool but chaotic tools and having a truly intelligent autonomous system. And the potential for this is just everywhere. I mean, think about it. Financial ops, marketing and sales, product development, even HR and legal. Basically, any part of a business that relies on human judgment and process can be completely transformed by this new, governed approach to automation. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. In the near future, where most business operations are driven by AI, with humans supervising, not the other way around, what happens when your competition's business can safely, effectively, and intelligently run itself? The companies that build this foundational layer of trust first, well, they won't just be a little more efficient, they'll be playing a completely different game.